What's up, everybody? Big Texas back here doing another Forge video, as I said I would be doing. But in this one, I'm going to be going over map options, why grouping is your best friend, and some lighting options. So, let's just get started with it. So, while you're in Forge mode, what you're going to want to do for your map options is hit X. Obviously, here's your map options. And depending on what map you're on, you can change the lighting of the theme. So right now I'm on Surus. But I prefer Overcast for this, so whenever you have your preferred item that you want, you just double tap B to get out of the menu, and it will render the lighting, making it Overcast. This, depending on what you have built on your map, could take seconds. If you have nothing, it'll be about instant because the map's already, ready for the light that's gonna be on it. But yep, this is what I like here. Personally, I like the Overcast look on this map. I think it gives it a good little, steamy. I like the way the sun pierces through the clouds. It's just me though. So, well, back in the map options, you have screen effects, which are filters, and these filters range from crisp to warm to nova to astro, to wash to enhance to gold to grayscale, negative to red process, blue process, green process, blue-green process, purple process, cross process. That one looks pretty nice, I think. Juicy looks pretty nice, but not in the gameplay sense. It's just kind of fun to look at and walk around with your friends. Sepia, however you pronounce that. Contrast, aging, gloom, weathered, field division in. Now, this is one I want to talk about for a second because this is just more or less a fun thing than anything. But whenever your field division is in and you go into first person, look how zoomed in it is. And it makes your sensitivity shoot way up. So, like if I had an enemy shooting at me or another person, they would look almost, I don't know. This is like a true FPS field division in my opinion. I think it's neat, nifty to mess around with. Then you have field division out, which is just zoomed out more on first person. And then we have Earthquake, which is going to be great for those machinima makers out there. But I usually keep it on none or enhance. Enhance makes all the colors pop. It makes the map look like a nice gradient was put on it, like let's say like after a edit or something. So that's nice. But I'm just gonna put it on none for the sake of making the video. And then we have the fog type. And then we have default fog, and then none. And then we have artistic, which puts a lot of damn fog on the map. Ethereal, puffs, galactic. This is like for space maps, I guess. Gritty, patchy, fluffy, soft, body. Starfield, swirly, turbulence, wispy, level default. So I like to keep it on the level default one, and you can actually change the color of the fog itself. So you see how it put this red tone around, kind of follow me around. You can see it good there. Basically, just turn the fog red, and I could see using this for different kinds of map. Like if you had the red fog on with a back in the map options and put like a different filter on it. Maybe the gloomy. Where's the gloomy at? Gloom in the red. Make a cool what's it called, infection map with that. Make it look kind of scary. But then you have the secondary color of it, which is the color that washes down from it. Then we have the distance of the fog, the color. Let me turn around here. The angle's better. And brightness. You can't forget about the brightness of the fog. It makes you can define the fog or undefine the fog. I feel the default settings are great because it's not too much, but it's still there for you to see it. When it comes to the fog, yeah, you see that it's like the background. So I was to put the background as like a blue, which actually looks pretty nice. That looks really pretty. Anyway, so you do that. So you might want to, whenever you're doing the fog in the background, you're going to want to match those colors for it to look right. But honestly, how often are you going to be really messing with that? thickness, brightness on that as well, and things. Cloud types. I don't know how this is going to work with the overcast settings that I have because the clouds are already there. But I'll, there we go. Oh, there we go. Watchy, fluffy, haze. I see something happening over there. So it just changes the shadows that are cast on the map. Okay. I'm just going to keep that on none. And then we have the wind, which I think is cool. Which makes the fog move, you see. Putting on the X direction makes the fog move like that. On the Y direction makes the fog move forward from where I am. And move it like this, it makes it move upwards. So if I made it go 3 upwards and 3 to the front, you can see that the fog wants to move, which if you have a really thick fog with a really thick color on it, you know, that could work to your advantage. Again, for those infection map makers, it's cool. Then we have these color options, and these color options here I wouldn't advise using unless you were making a one-tone map, because okay, so I've pre-made this for the sake of this video, and go back into my map options and I go over here. There's all these different things: the glow, details, props. You know, it just tells you everything. But then you have like floors, and floors, for example, I'm basically made this out of nothing but floors. So if I change the color on this, all the floors here change, which not really a big of a fan of. Anyway, so that being said, it's gonna bother me now if this isn't like a gray. Okay. Whenever you're making maps, excuse me, whenever you're making maps, and especially symmetrical maps, grouping is going to be your best friend. So, by doing the thing that I explained in my prior video, I'm going to paint these 4 objects, X, object properties, create a group. Now, after I created this group, I'm going to duplicate it. After I duplicate it, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to rotate it here. Move it to the corner. Now you see how I'm not really worried about lining it up perfectly yet, because I'm going to use another thing that I had taught yesterday in yesterday's video to show you that in practice. So boom, here's this, and whenever you duplicate it on the sides like this, it'll always be on the same level, which is super nice. So. I have them set up now. I'm going to let this one go. And then I'm going to go to Tool Settings, and down here again, under Movement and Translation, I'm going to turn on the Z-Fight Fixer. And whenever I turn this on, I'll be able to slowly pull this exactly where it needs to be. Let go of it, move over here. This one. Grab. And always remember to let go of the object, because you don't want to be, you know, moving a bunch of objects at once. So, and pulling. And this one I'm going to need to push and pull to the side. And if I wanted to turn this into a quick little warm-up map for me and my friends, it's already basically done, just after a short little amount of time that I spent on it. So, that being said, that's cool, and I just want to talk about lighting now for a moment. So, if I hit Y and you go to Extras, Lighting, you have all these different light fixtures that you can use, and all the settings for them are the same. So I'll just use what I want to use. Use the light fixture overhead, and the thing where I forgot to turn off the Z-Fight Fixer. God, I don't want it on that either. None. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this light down here. I'm just going to attach it. Gosh, my perception was off. And attach it to this wall. This is the light that I'll be talking about in this video. So as you can see, it's just casting a simple little cone down. But if I was to go into the object properties for this light, you can start off by changing the color of the light fixture itself. So I'll just put it on some wacky colors, red and blue. You can change its texture, which I think is kind of neat. You can change it from matte and metallic. You can put a spawn sequence on it. You can put a respawn rate on it. So, like, let's say if you didn't want the area to be lit right away, you could put a spawn delay on it. And it would spawn in like 30 seconds into a round of breakout or something like that. Lighting up a dark room or something. Should be kind of neat. You can despawn it, make it go away as well. Light baking. The object will cast, receive static baked shadows. Shadows generally look better than the dynamic shadows, but does cost lighting budget. So, as you can see down here, you'll see objects, groups, scripts, effects, light map. Now, light map is the amount of lighting that you're allowed to tamper with. So, because the map can only generate so much dynamic lighting before it's gonna crash on you. So they set that to a level that you can't go past. But as I go down, you can change the type of light that it casts, which is spotlight, point light, spotlight, point light. That's it. And then you can change the dynamic lighting settings for that on or off. So if you were to have that dynamic, if somebody was to run underneath it, they'd cast a shadow. Or you can just have it to where if somebody runs underneath it, they don't cast a shadow. I usually go with a don't cast a shadow, just for the sake of keeping my light map usage down, and I feel like everything runs a little bit better like that. But you can change the color of the light here, and there's like over 130 colors. Pretty crazy. I'll just put it on a Magneta, and then you can change the length of it. Now the length of your light is the height that it stretches downwards to. So if I was to put this on this crazy 1550, and then I was to grab the light fixture and then go up, if I was like put it on here, it'd still be casting down to the ground pretty well. So if I go back into object properties, scroll down here to size and angle. If I was to widen the angle, I can only go so wide like that. 170 makes it super wide, so it covers this entire area here. Same thing with the other way. If you go down to the size and the angle, it'll only light up the small piece. Tiny. Yeah, size angle, the brightness of the light is pretty self-explanatory. The fall-off ratio is like the amount of dimness that comes off the light on the phrase. You can change the lens flare. If you want to get all crazy on it, go with some lens flare, but that could also be bothersome to some people, especially if you're putting it in a place where it would be in their eyes. You change the type of light that's coming out of it. The basic, cloudy reversed. Dusty. So that basically just makes it to where you can see the beam go down from the light itself. Which again is just all aesthetics. And I don't think that costs your light map anything, so that's cool. You have the gobo, which is the changes the type of gobo stencil projected from the light. Oh, one second, I need to turn this back up a bit, the size of it. So I'll put it on data stream and look down. You see it's projecting a data stream onto the ground. And it looks kind of trippy. I think it's cool. Like you can have different projections coming out of it. That's basically all that is just a projection. Where did So, you got emergency light, you got a fan, like say if you wanted to... Ooh, psychedelic, man. Psychodelic. And then down here... Boo, 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 boo. Get the animation, flicker, horror, pulse, candlelight, blink, strobe, bug zapper, and do the horror one, because it's just like kind of blinky, doesn't really know what to do. I'll stay in psychedelic. But those are the basic light settings, and I'm just going to delete all of this because this is not part of my actual map. I have been working on a map and implying all these things I've been talking about into a map that I've been working on over here. And this is it. This is my first arena style map that I have been working on myself, and it's still not complete yet, obviously. But I said I've been using these light fixtures and these light settings to cast my blue and red side without having to overuse the amount of objects that I have to make blue or red. I love the rocks in this game. I'll go over rocks later on, and like some of the natural elements and how like everything works with that. The way stairs. Might talk about some objects tomorrow in a video that I might make tomorrow. Different ways to set up objects, different ways to group objects. But thanks for watching, and see you next time on some Forge Tips.